Hey, my people, today I have got 10 fragrances for you that are better than Creed Aventus. At least that's a case I'm going to be making, and you'll have to decide for yourself. As we get ready to dive in, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Also, give the video a like if you like it, and let me know down in the comments what is your favorite alternative to Creed Aventus. Now, let me just begin by saying this is no disrespect to Aventus. Aventus was a major part of my own fragrance journey, if I could say it like that. I was given a couple of carded samples out on the street like a few months after Aventus came out. I knew nothing of Creed. I knew nothing of niche perfumery. I was rocking Jean Paul Gaultier and Burberry and Dolce & Gabbana and Bath and Body Works. I mean, I loved fragrances, and I was even dabbling in clones, which back then was a messy world, but I knew nothing at all of niche fragrances. So I'm not disrespecting Aventus. I love Aventus. Once I ran out of those two, 1 ml vials or whatever, I went back to the store and said, I want to get a bottle of this. And I showed them the vial, and they said, that'll be $400. And I said, I'll see you later. And it was a few years later, whenever I discovered clones of Creed Aventus, I picked up Club de Nuit Intense Man, the original, and I didn't like it. I couldn't get past the, honestly, Lemon Pledge scent in the opening. I know that since then, they've released flankers of that, the EDP, the Parfum, the Special Edition, which are all supposed to be better, but I've never picked them up because I think, here, some things that I would put in the category of being better than Creed Aventus because it's well known in the fragrance community, and for once, I think that this is legitimate and not just people going nose blind or whatever, that newer formulations of Aventus have lost the strength that it once had. It was a great performing fragrance back 12 years ago, 15, I don't even remember, whenever it came out. But apparently newer batches are watered down, and I'm going by what you guys say. I haven't bought a bottle. I don't think I need to buy a bottle, and that's why I'm going to present to you a case for several excellent alternatives to Aventus. I still love Aventus, so I'm also going to share with you some clones of Aventus, and in the end, we'll decide together, are they better options? So, first of all, we're going to jump into one that I do think, as of now, just because I've smelled Aventus so much for so long, I still love it and appreciate it for what it is. But this one is a little bit of a different take, actually a big different take on a similar idea. This is a niche fragrance you can get for $100. It is beast mode performing, and it's going to get you something similar to Creed Aventus with also some significant differences. I'm talking about Nishan Hassat. This I picked up for $100, the 50 ml. This is it's an extrait de parfum, so this is a super concentrated fragrance. It lasts forever on my skin, 12 hours literally, and it is a sweet, fruity burst like Aventus, but instead of going into sort of smoky, woodsy, you go into a sweet green heart. A green aromatic heart, but it's specifically like a sweet, tart green heart. The opening is very similar to Aventus. You might have pineapple, you've got bergamot, you've got some other kind of sweet citrus, juicy citrus, but then you've got that green heart, and then you do have a similar kind of structure as Aventus, but this one, I honestly, right now, enjoy more than Aventus. I've been wearing this about every other day the last week or so. I absolutely love it. Nishan Hassat, niche perfumery, extrait de parfum concentration. You can get it for $100. 3 sprays of this is equal to about 8 or 10 sprays of most, designer level fragrances on the market right now. So worth every penny. All right, another alternative to Creed Aventus would be something like Raja Parfums Elysium. And so this is, again, it's not a clone of Aventus, but it's in a similar kind of fragrance profile. You've got citrus in the opening. You've also got a distinct black currant, kind of a sweet, fruity vibe going with that bright citrus. And then you move into a grassy, kind of woodsy aromatic heart. And so I have here some clones of Elysium that you can get for very inexpensive. The first one is by FOMO, and it is a sub $30 amazing clone of Elysium. This is called a Fragheads Asylum. It's an extrait de parfum. It doesn't perform as well as Hassat, but it's a good performer, and it gets very close to Elysium. You know, Hassat and Elysium are different from each other, but they capture something similar that will remind you of something like Aventus, and this one gets very close to Elysium. It does the sweetness right, and it does the grassy, woodsy vetiver right. Highly recommend this one. Another one that I'll mention that is powerfully performing. This one, it's not an extrait, I believe it's just a parfum, but it's still like a 10-hour fragrance. This is by Parfums Vintage, which they do some clones of Aventus that people swear by. People say they're the best clones of Aventus on the market. I don't own one, but I do have their clone of Elysium. It's called Evolution del Homme Soir, and it is a powerful, powerful clone of Elysium. The kicker is the grassy vetiver in this one is about doubled from Elysium. So this is like Elysium with vetiver on steroids. So if you like the grassy, woodsy vetiver, then this is your pick for an Elysium clone right here. Next up, I would say one that is sort of middle of the road between the last two that I just showed you. This one is inexpensive like the FOMO. It's got a touch more vetiver, but nowhere near what the Parfums Vintage has. This one is in line with Elysium as far as the sweetness and the vetiver goes, and it's readily available for low 20s. This is Fragrance World Imperium. Some people have complained about performance with this one, but I will tell you that on me, it performs fine. 6-7 hours. The first couple hours is that sweet, fruity vibe. Then it goes into sort of the, woodsy, even a little bit leathery kind of dry down. The FOMO holds on to the fruitiness longer than this one does, but I think it's a good pickup, crazy cheap, and you can get it everywhere, even on Amazon for really inexpensive. Finally, this one may be my favorite clone of Elysium. It probably is even a little more similar to Aventus because it's got some extra sweetness and extra fruitiness. This is Alexandria's clone of Elysium. It is called Zion, Alexandria Zion. I just have this little 10 ml spray here. But this one, again, great alternative to Aventus because it's like a sweeter, fruitier version of Elysium. It's expensive though, price per mil, it's about $40 for a 30 ml, but it is a fantastic fragrance, about a 7-hour performer. All right, next, another alternative to Aventus, and one that I would commend to you would be Manera's Cedrat Boisé. And so Cedrat Boisé is a citrus black currant kind of opening, so similar to some of the others that we've mentioned. And then it goes into woods and leather. And the one I'm going to show you even has a touch of oud, although it's very faint. This is Intense Cedrat Boisé by Manera, and it is an extrait de parfum. Again, a very potent, long-lasting fragrance in the style of something like Aventus, although each of these have their own distinctives, of course. I enjoy each of them for different reasons. But this is an excellent fragrance. I've gotten some fantastic compliments on this, some funny compliments because people have been blown away by it, people I didn't even know. So I would commend this one to you. You're going to pay about $100, maybe a touch over for this one. But you can also get Paris Corner's clone of Cedrat Boisé, not the Intense, their clone of the original. And this is like a $33, $35 fragrance, and it is an awesome clone of Cedrat Boisé. This is Paris Corner Emir Cedrat Essence. And it's just that bright, sweet, fruity opening, and then you go down into the woods and leather. It's excellent. TLTG Reviews has said that Cedrat Boisé smells like a wicker basket full of fruit, and I think that's about the best description you could give. Killer clone right here from Paris Corner, Cedrat Essence. All right, and I'm going to end the video with some direct clones of Aventus because, again, there's no Aventus haters here. I mourn over the fact that you can't get what I originally got when it first came out unless you pay through the nose. But these are some good alternatives. So the one that I will mention first is Haramain's very inexpensive, really good clone of a fruity batch of Aventus. This is Haramain Laventure, and it's just right down the road, an excellent clone of Aventus, but it's got the smoky vibe rolled back a little bit. So it's not going to be a smoky batch of Aventus, more of a fruity batch, but excellent clone, great performance, 8+ hours, excellent price, about $20, $22. You can get it, even on Amazon for that price. Laventure by Haramain. They also have an Intense, which is longer lasting and more powerful, but I don't own that one. Great alternative to Aventus. This next one, this is Mont Blanc's clone / inspired fragrance of Aventus, and all of you probably know it already. This is Explorer. I only have this little 30 ml bottle because that's all I need. I have enough of this kind of fragrance, but I love this one. I think I wore this just the other day. There is maybe a touch more of a muskiness to this one than there is Aventus. There are some differences, but it's done in a palatable, it's not quite, Aventus has got maybe a little more tartness, it's got more smokiness. This one sort of levels out some of the more niche characteristics of Aventus and gives you a more palatable twist on Aventus, and you can pick it up, for around, this little bottle was less than 30 bucks, but 45 or so for the full-size bottle. And then finally, I will mention Alexandria's clones of Aventus. Just like Parfums Vintage has clones of Aventus, they've got 100 literally, probably. Alexandria's only got 3 or 4, but they have different qualities, different batches. You can get a smoky batch of Aventus. You can get a fruity batch of Aventus. And they're done very well. They perform pretty good, about 8 hours. And I really enjoy this one. I think this one is their fruity batch, and it's called Brasilia. So this is Alexandria's Brasilia. Again, this is just a little 10 mil. So this is their clone of Aventus. Obviously, that's kind of useless. It's just a little travel spray. But Alexandria, their prices are not great, but you get something that is quality, as in you can actually tell the quality of the oils, and it's just a good product for what you get. So there's been 10 alternatives to Aventus. If I were to pick one and say better than Aventus, I got to be honest, it's going to have to be Hassat, but that's just because it's the perfect weather. It's starting to warm up here. It's, 60 to 70 degrees every day. This is the perfect spring fragrance, citrus, green, aromatic with a good bit of sweetness, very powerful, long lasting. This would be my pick out of the video. And then I would say after that would probably be Cedrat Boisé, FOMO, Fragheads Asylum, and then on down the line. But if you like Aventus, the point of the video is you'll probably like any one of these. Let me know in the comments if you have any of them. What other alternatives would you recommend, of course? I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. I'm Justin. This is Sillage Scents.